Okay, so I'll call to order the Public Art Advisory Committee meeting, May 7th at 5 o'clock. We'll start with a traditional territory acknowledgement. So I'd like to begin by acknowledging that we are fortunate enough to be gathered together on the unceded territory of Wetwick, who have been caretakers of this land since time immemorial. We'll adopt the agenda first. So recommendation that the agenda for May 7th be approved as presented. Can I get we got Hannah as a first and then Please second. Great. And then adoption of minutes of the committee meetings. Minutes from March 12th Public Art Advisory Committee. That the minutes of the March 12th Public Advisory Committee meeting be adopted. Beth and Liz. Great. So we don't have any unfinished business, so we can jump right into our new business. So we got the community survey results. So if we want to go over a brief review, maybe most people have gotten a chance to look at them. Some it might be new, but if you want to take a moment now. Did anyone get a chance to look ahead of time?
Yes.
Great. So one thing that I noticed from the survey was it was very much in alignment with our first public engagement with the results that we got from that one when we hosted it at CSS. The nice part about this survey was the questions that we determined, so really separating the tennis courts and Dutch Lake. One part that we couldn't include because it would have been 100 pages to print. So I did a quick synopsis. So that's going to be the summary of key findings at the very back, is basically a summary of all the written responses. Because I just do not want to waste paper.
You say this is great, Leanne. Thank you.
Great.
Yeah, it's nice to have it all graphed out.
Mm-hmm. It's also nice to see the people that responded, where they resided, and also what age demographic they're from.
Interesting,
That was
hey?
a bit of interesting information that we could capture here, but not so much at the in-person engagement.
Yes. Also, this really clear theme between the skateboard park and the beach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, do we want to just take a moment to go through question by question, just very quickly?
Yeah, sure.
So page 1. So the themes that they'd like to see in the murals. So a lot, like we kind of had at CSS, was a lot of nature and wildlife. Second was local history. And then Indigenous culture, outdoor recreation were similar. On the next page, so what style for the murals? That was interesting that people said realistic. Because I feel like that could be taken a lot of different ways.
That's kind of what we currently have, I would say.
I think so. Yeah, that would be the one at the North Thompson Sportsplex.
Even the Fleet West one
Yeah.
is realistic.
Yeah. Yeah.
The one maybe not at Mystic Dreams isn't so realistic.
Right. That would be more abstract.
And just playful.
Yeah. Yeah.
When we get right down into, sorry guys, I've got a bad cold. I'm not coming here infecting you guys, but when we get down into the details, it seems like the skateboard part people are not thinking realistic, perhaps. So it'll be interesting to kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, and then looking at I liked seeing how often people used each area, because you can definitely see that most people writing in frequently and occasionally visit Dutch Lake versus occasionally and rarely at the tennis courts, or never. Those were the highest.
They're both visible from the road.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it kind of gives us permission to like, I mean, if you get youth in more youth involvement and they have a different idea, that's kind of okay.
Yeah.
Because these guys
Yeah,
visiting
totally.
it
Hey.
anyways.
Yeah.
right?
And that's not to say that it's bad or good. It's just information.
It's just
Yeah.
you could use it for that.
Yeah. Yeah. And it might, I was going to mention later, it might guide how we decide if we're picking one to do first. Like we mentioned last
Yeah.
meeting.
Yeah.
I liked that. So question 5, what role should murals play in Clearwater? Beautification and storytelling were the highest.
Nice.
So that was really interesting. And then themes for Dutch Lake. Again, very similar to the CSS engagement we had there: nature, wildlife, water, lakes, environment. Versus, oh, that's a little bit farther on. And then calm, peaceful, mood versus the bright and bold at the tennis courts, which I
Love it.
kind of agree with.
Yes.
But yeah, does anybody who wants to have some input and add their thoughts? How do people feel about the results from the survey?
I think it's great.
Yeah.
And this was just going out on the Clearwater Info Board, or how did you circulate it?
So we shared it about a month ago. So whoever, I know I saw a few people help share it online.
Yeah.
So it went out just online.
Yeah.
Yeah. On different social media platforms.
How many responses were there? Did I see
There
that
was
somewhere?
57.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Cool. I think the questions have been very well formulated because it told us a lot of information.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is interesting that completely different and unique to each site.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though there's common themes like nature and movement, but it also says completely different. So
Yeah. And I feel like there's a way to have it still be cohesive, but unique from each other. Like we can still follow those themes. But okay.
And do we have the call to for submissions yet, or?
No, because we didn't want to put that out until after the survey. That's what this meeting's for.
We just
Is to
have
determine.
the first one, the expression. No, not even expression of interest. Call to artists, right?
Yeah, for the artist roster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And we did get one person email in to be added to the roster. So
They're
I'll
on the
share
top.
that.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Number
hopefully they send us a design for this. But okay, so if we're done, does anybody else have anything else to say about 6.1 community survey results? Because if not, we could move on to 6.2 mural project next steps. Okay. Yeah, let's move on. So something that we talked about last meeting was choosing, based on our budget, was choosing one location and starting with that one first. And I don't remember if let me just check the minutes. I don't know if we made a hard decision on picking which location.
I don't think we did.
No.
but what if we have like one person willing to do it and one submission, and the submission is for a specific location?
Yeah.
Does that make up our mind?
Well, I think when we put it out though, if we only have a certain budget for one mural,
Yeah.
we should pick one mural to put a call for artists out
Right.
to.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a question around that is because somewhere in my brain I recall that we were trying to do it in the school year for the young people, like because if we were going to involve them rather than in the summer when everybody takes off, and
Mhm.
so if we have the time to do it before the school year, maybe that's a
No.
I really do not think
consideration.
so.
No, it's not going to happen.
No.
By the time we put the call
We got
out
3
and everything
weeks
else.
until, or
Yeah.
it sure
Okay.
feels like 3 weeks.
Yeah, don't say that. Is
Yeah.
pretty inducing.
And for
You know
that
what June
reason,
is
it-
like.
It would make more sense to wait on the skate park tennis court one.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking too for the Dutch Lake mural, it might be beneficial because knowing that that building might have a lifespan and it potentially might be moved, the Dutch Lake Beach House, who knows what's going to happen to it. I do think that it would be beneficial to have that mural done on panels, like that could be put onto the side of the building. But if that were the case, we wouldn't run into the issue of it being painted in the summertime outside.
Yeah.
So then it could be easily done at the artist's residence or at a different location indoors,
Yeah.
and then put on the side of the building. Because I know weather was a
Yeah.
factor that we were talking about.
Yeah. It's not good for
Whereas
paint.
the tennis courts, that's direct on the cement.
And you don't want that kind of like activity if it's going on for a week or two, scaffolding and supplies,
Yeah.
and it's the busiest time
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the panels are a good idea.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel, Liz?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. Great.
I think my kind of question to that is like, how do we decide which one to prioritize? If we're only doing one this year, kind of thing. Because I think both are like equally valuable, and so it's kind of like, yeah. Did we talk about that? I missed last meeting. Sorry.
I think so. From what I remember, is we are looking at grant funding. So I did apply for the Trans Mountain grant. I haven't heard back yet. I did hear back that it's in review. So they did get it. They're reviewing it. We're still looking at other grants. So there is that component. So we could get approved, who know, as early as next week. We really don't know when we could get approved for some of these grants. So it wouldn't necessarily be just drawing a hard line and saying we're only doing this mural project this year. It'd be more just picking one to prioritize while we're waiting for the other funding to come through.
Yeah.
So that we're at least getting one of them started instead of waiting until we have enough funding for both of them.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Be doing like brainstorming and workshopping in the fall with the high school students, and then
Mm-hmm.
have another round of funding, and then do it in the spring or something like that.
Yeah, and that would give us more
true.
time too to collaborate
Yes.
with the school, and I like that idea too.
I do too. Yeah.
And I was gonna say too, the way that this committee could kind of guide like which one they choose would be like the weather. So if we wanted to do one sooner than later, the panel idea would be the most accessible for weather-wise. And then especially if we want to get youth involved, we'd want to wait until not during summer. And then we have our results from the survey of where people spend most of their time. Not that we're using that as a complete deciding factor, but to
Like, both are
guide
great
our
locations, because now I always notice the one when I'm over at Dairy Queen getting whatever with my
Yeah.
kids. Like I look over, I'm like, wow, like you see that when you're driving into Clearwater, like it's very visible, like that skateboard
yeah.
park one, right?
Yeah.
But then of course Dutch Lake is a hub too. It's already
It
people
is,
down
yeah.
there swimming, and the parking
Yeah.
lot's already full. Like it's pretty neat.
Yeah. Yeah, like I would almost think of like it's nice if you live on that side of town or you go up there. I don't think I've been up there, and I mean I was there for soccer the other day or when I'm just running around, but yeah. I would say that one, they're both kind of tourist impacts, but that one for sure is like the first view that people get of Clearwater when they're driving through, like coming into town.
And then size-wise, I think like the tennis court one's a little bit larger, but if we're not doing the panels, it could actually be more affordable because you're not buying additional materials.
Yeah, that is.
And so that's also a tough balance of like how much we're actually getting in grant funding to figure out like what money do we actually have to allocate and what it's actually going to cost.
I know.
Yeah, we'll have to price out the paneling.
So is that something that the committee wants to do before we put the call out to artists?
It's gonna take.
Or are we wanting to put out the call and then have the artist price out? Because is it the committee's responsibility to find the materials, or is that the artist's responsibility?
I feel it has to go somewhere in the middle, like comfort of the artist working with the material, but then also like what happens if they're just buying like, I don't know, panel, like say the cheapest plywood you can get and then it's going to break down in 2 years. Like, is that the priority of?
Well,
like,
I think we would provide guidelines. Like it would have
Yeah.
to be, it would have to be a certain material.
Fair.
But sometimes I know some professional like artists, like they might have access to better materials than we do necessarily. But
Yeah, I would think it would be our responsibility to kind of at least source out a few options of panels and their cost, because if you're
Yeah.
taking quotes, you need to be realistic about what those cost and include it in the
Yeah.
materials, right?
okay.
Yeah.
Does somebody want to, is that something that the committee members can look into, or is that something that the district has to look into?
I think both it would be totally fine there, having
Okay.
helping the committee to look for that and then kind of.
Committee could
back
look
to
at it and then forward it to us?
Yep.
Okay. Does anybody want to look into panels?
I could.
Okay. Perfect.
I know. In my mind, I'm like, I can. I'm like, no, it's. Be
Yeah.
quiet.
I
be quiet."
know.
Like, don't talk.
Yeah, it's going to be a big team effort for the next bit if we want to get these murals going for sure. Okay, well, once we get the amount on panels, then we can use those numbers to guide us on how much we want to allocate to write in the call for artists. Because generally the call for artists will have the amount that the project's worth, correct? From what other people saw?
Yeah, and I'm thinking if we find that the budget is like, oh, it's really not going to leave a lot of room for the artist fee if the panels are quite expensive, then we could look at that mural canvas that I had originally found, which solves the problem of it being made inside, but it is a permanent like adhesive.
Oh,
it
okay.
wouldn't solve the problem of it being removable, but it would be maybe take some of that cost out of buying wood or whatever kind of paneling
Yeah, yeah.
material we decide on.
Okay. Well, yeah, even if you're able to have cost on that too, then we can look at that.
I just had a thought, like the schools don't allow murals right on the school anymore. They have to be panels. So I'm wondering if they have some
Oh, yeah.
information about what.
A good material.
Yeah,
they
a good
have
material.
tried and tested, and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I can sort of like partner with you on
You
that.
wanna
Just
email
see
me
what
on
the school
that?
district requirements
Yeah.
are. Like if they have to be panels, then what?
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll also look into a few things, but it's just nice if the committee's also looking because it's a lot of juggling.
And Elsa,
It'd be-
you'll be able to
yes.
find out if we'll have permission to attach things and what kind of hardware they would want, or
For sure.
yeah.
Is the bathroom that we're?
Yeah, the Dutch Lake Beach House.
I think we
And we've already established that there's no permission, like we already have permission because council already approved those
Been
projects.
to drill into the building. Yeah.
Yeah.
To anchor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah, that's not an issue. But we can definitely find out if there is specific hardware that we need for putting it into the building. But then again, that would be something that we would probably definitely do ourselves, putting it on, so that we can leave that to
You
them.
want the tamper-proof hardware. Yeah.
Yeah.
So people don't walk away with your mural
All
one
of
day.
a sudden our mural's gone one day. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a point.
Yeah.
So can I clarify? So Mishka and Liz, you're going to work together Like, will we have options for materials?
I just gonna look into what the school district requires and
What the
then
school,
just
okay.
because they already have that policy in place, they might have.
See if
Interesting.
it
Yeah.
saves a step. Yeah.
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 Okay.
I had one question. When we put out the call for artists, is there a timeline for that? Like until we close that, or just until we get a certain amount of interest?
Yeah. That would be something that the committee can decide.
We should have a closing date on it.
Yeah.
But then we might have to move it if we only have,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
might put an extension on it, but we'll have a closing date to start.
So that will determine when the mural is done. Cause like
When it's
it
even
could,
started. Yeah.
yeah, that's what I meant. When
Yeah.
it started.
And the call for artists is going to also include a proposal, or is it just a call, I'm interested, and then we decide on proposals, or how does that?
No, it would be like them, it would be us
Yeah, so
saying,
a
we're doing
picture.
a mural at the Dutch Lake Beach if you're interested, and then sharing
Submit your
all of the
ideas.
survey results, really saying,
Yeah.
please submit your ideas, your proposal, and then they would have to fill out
Yeah.
their proposal, and
Mm-hmm.
and then we would come back and meet after that's closed to determine which one.
And they don't have to like align with the most popular,
Mm-hmm.
I think. You know, if they have a really strong concept that's in
Yeah.
maybe category 2 or 3,
Yeah,
then I think that's still valid. And
I think
yeah,
so too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Will the call for artists be like Canada wide or BC?
That's really up to the committee.
I believe my understanding is that we weren't limiting it to any geographical area. It certainly, would be easier for more locals versus, and then certainly provincial. If
Yeah.
somebody wants to come from Ontario to install a mural, that's up to the.
we gonna-
Yeah.
Certainly.
Kind
And
of
if they
like-
can do it within that budget, then
Exactly.
Do we put in there somewhere like preference will be given to?
Yeah. I think so.
I feel like we discussed that.
Like that
Yeah,
it's
I
open.
believe we did
but-
discuss that when we were.
That we were going to leave it
local-
open to wherever, but we will have like a clause in there that preference will be
Okay.
given
Yeah,
to
I wasn't
local.
sure.
should we say preference may be given to local or preference? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rather than preference
that's a
will
good
be
idea.
because
maybe because if their idea isn't as, relevant or like doesn't go with our theme, right? It doesn't
Yeah.
just because you're local.
yeah.
If you have a local person and a faraway person and they're both amazing,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
and also a local person might think like, well, I'm competing against Canada-wide, like I'm just too intimidating.
Yeah.
Right? They're like, okay, I'm
Oh,
going to
that's
give this
a
a chance
thought.
because I may,
Mm-hmm.
be considered a little more strongly because I live here.
Yeah.
I might. So that I think it will probably influence people.
Yeah. No, I like that. So just so we know now then, just so we can kind of get a few more things done ahead of time, how long would you like to keep the call open for once it gets posted? Do we
What is the precedence for other places, I wonder?
Well, I think with other places they're doing it earlier.
Yeah.
So that might guide it a bit. But if it's panels and it's not as environmental,
Is like 6 weeks too short?
6
Certainly not too short. I would
Yeah.
think more that a month would be probably a standard amount of time would be a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. Certainly, yeah, we've had lots of other proposals go out that are just 2 weeks that are up for bid, right? But you have to strike that balance between needing to move forward on this project faster and giving enough time for certainly, artists to kind of find it and get their proposals in. So, certainly a month to 6 weeks would be reasonable. And maybe that's a month. And if you haven't received
Yeah.
a quantity, you can always extend it if
Maybe go with a month with the idea that we might extend it if needed. How does everybody feel with that?
Good.
Do
Yeah,
you
okay,
add?
as-
Oh,
yeah.
sorry, Mishka, you go. I was just gonna say, do you add like another kind of contingency point of like, grant funding, like dependent on grant funding or
Yeah.
like that kind of thing? Like, or do we know? Like, because we don't have any grant funding secured right now.
No, but we have the 10,000.
Yeah. My
Okay.
assumption would be it would be another proposal that would have to go out if we did get the funding for the second mural.
Yeah.
So we'd repost at that stage.
Yeah.
And if, someone from the first round might also submit maybe a similar concept, exact same concept to the second round.
Yeah.
All of the side, but
Okay,
yeah.
sorry. I thought we were starting from zero, so
No, that's good.
perfect. Thank you.
Okay. This is good. We're all keeping each other on our toes because I am not the best at evening meetings. My brain's already spent. Okay. So a month for keeping the call out. Just so I know, because then when we put it out, we don't have to email back and forth to decide then.
I like that as long as we already have like our whole list ready to roll of
Yeah.
who we're firing it out to. Like how are we getting it out there?
Yeah.
That's got to be all ready to go.
Yeah.
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 That makes sense.
Yeah.
So you're not doing it and then like 2 weeks later, oh yeah, we should send it to these people. Oh yeah, we should send it to
Yeah.
these people, and then they get less time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think just sending it out to the list that you supplied
Yeah.
before.
And there was the one main one that needs the membership.
Yes,
Are
we
we-
were actually just talking about that the other day, so we will get that membership.
Okay.
That was for the Art Alliance.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
I was trying to find in my notes what the name of it was.
Okay.
And we will send it out through the Intact membership as well.
Yeah.
And we also, I have not looked recently to see who's signed up for our newsletter, but we would also send it out to those people that subscribed.
Maybe seeing if there's an interest in somebody from the paper doing an article.
Yeah. Yeah,
Ask
definitely.
Keith and see.
Good idea.
Yeah. So we'll wait till we get a bit more information on the panels and other materials. As soon as,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't want to put too much pressure. You guys are all volunteers, so yeah. We all kind of,
Do
I
you
think we
want
all
any other-
understand the sooner the better that we can
And
get the
if
call
anyone
out.
wants to do extra research on where to submit it, that would be great. Because
Yeah.
I did that a while ago and I haven't refreshed my memory on it. And
Yeah.
I'm sure I missed a lot. I didn't do it extensively. I just came
Yeah,
up-
I can always find your email and reshare it with everyone too. And we can see if we're missing anyone. But you had a really good list.
yeah.
It seems pretty.
Yeah. I'm like,
I used
yeah.
I used your list in conjunction like with my list of places that I send things out to. So okay. And I'm sure we could even give a little announcement to one of the counselors to say at one of the council meetings, perhaps.
Leanne, if Keith was interested in doing an article, would you be willing to speak to him or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do-
definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. Myself or Shelley.
Yeah.
Shelley's a great speaker,
Yeah.
as we all know.
Yeah. And then maybe we could provide him with a little bit of like the community engagement.
Absolutely. Yeah, because all of these results are available to public too, so we can even just give him the whole package.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll see.
It's a nice visual. And the summary at the back kind of is a nice overview of everything. But does anybody have anything else to add for mural
Just
project?
a question, if you have any other research and prices or whatever that needs doing, just let me know. I don't know art. I don't know how to find out these things, but I'll find out how to find out. So I don't know. Paint.
We only have
Did somebody do that?
we have rough numbers from some of our first meetings. But
Okay.
nothing since then. We've just been basing some of these costs off of that. But again, that's where
let me know.
that is not my expertise. That's where I'd really like to talk to an actual mural artist to see what kind of paint they're using.
Yes.
I don't even know what kind of paint they're. Does anybody here know? No.
I did send out an email like after the first meeting about quoting it for paint and the Vandal Guard and everything,
Yeah.
and the primer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Michelle. Sorry.
Um,
Okay.
Do you have your mic on? You should. Okay. Anything else we want to add to the next steps? I think we've got a good plan forwards. And then I'll be sharing the call, like the draft with the group before it goes out too. But it'll look very similar to other communities
Yeah.
for good reason.
Sorry, to confirm, so the call here that you're doing, it'll kind of like have those guidelines of like we're doing a mural at Dutch Lake Beach. This is what the feedback is.
Yep.
Please provide an inspired thing. Are we also asking for like their budget, like their quote kind of thing, or is it just visual?
Well, I think we're including the budget. Yeah. I think that's how most are done.
And they don't. They'll be breaking down their costs. So
Yeah.
if we say we have a $8,000 or $10,000 budget,
Yeah. Then they have to, in their proposal, kind of break down.
doesn't mean their total is going to be 8,000 or 10,000. It
Yeah.
just means that's what they have to work with.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like learning to ride a bike. This will be we'll get this one
I know,
under
right?
the way.
Yeah.
Then we'll be ready to go for the
amazing.
second. Okay. All right. Does anybody else want to add anything?
Just that on my spring break trip down to the coast, I took so many pictures of murals.
Yeah.
Especially in Squamish.
Oh yeah.
Squamish has beautiful murals, and they have this new development coming up, so they have like a whole wall
Yeah.
of murals, and then it's really neat to see like the one at the school is painted by the same. You can see the similar styles, and I really enjoyed
Yeah.
my mural tour of BC, and yeah,
Have you been to Chemainus?
no,
Oh,
but I've
that's
heard-
like the
yeah,
town of murals.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it got started like the logging industry collapsed or something, right? And then
They needed a
that
way to
was-
revitalize the community, and it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really neat. Yeah. Next time you're on the island, go to Chemainus. I think there's hundreds. Like there's a lot of murals. Almost every building has a mural on it.
I haven't been. When my aunt knew that I was doing this, she told me about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Super neat. All different sizes. Like there's so many big ones, but there's so many little, and then tons of art installations and
Yeah.
yeah.
It's very
Oh, babe.
inspiring, I have to say. Like, 'cause I have an electric car now, so I have to like stop for an hour in different towns and tour around. So in Chilliwack as well, they have this like charging station and this whole district that has all these different murals and things.
Okay.
Wow, I don't
That's cool.
Yeah. Neat.
have slowed down and appreciated them quite the same.
That's like a good public art sort of connection, is to do them near charging stations.
It is, because you're like forced there for an hour and you're
Yeah.
Do a
kinda
little art
wandering
walk.
around. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, on that note, I might even look at Squamish and Chemainus and just kind of take a see what they're doing mural wise.
Yeah.
I'm
And maybe even
excited
talk
long
to them.
term. Like, like you said, this is us just beginning and
Yeah.
figuring it out. And then, like, yeah, there'll be sculptures or something one day, or
Look at the
like,
ones that Doris did. Like they've been there for a long time.
Yeah.
And yeah, they
Yeah.
look brand new. And I was just
Yeah.
looking at the one on the side of Fleet West too, and it's impressive too. It's two murals, right?
Yeah.
The front and the whole side. I'm like, wow. Now that
Yeah.
you appreciate all of the
Yeah.
work that it takes to get those
yeah.
underway and painted.
Yeah. Okay. Well, should we move on to our week of whimsy? Number 6.3.
Okay, yeah.
So has anybody else heard of the Week of Whimsy? Or
Had a long chat with Shelley about this.
All right. I'm going to let you guys chat about it. What your thoughts
Oh.
are on it.
Did anybody else put their hand up? Because it's probably better if somebody's in the room.
Oh, no, you're here.
Okay.
We can see you pretty good.
Okay. Yeah, it's an idea that Shelley has had about encouraging, I would almost call it rebel art, where people kind of do things in the community. I don't know, I've just spent time in Victoria where people decorate telephone poles, for example, or their curb front with art. And the city has made the space for that, but it actually creates a certain vibrancy. And Shelley's idea, as I recall it, is creating a space for this and even having this week of whimsy where we encourage people to actually do art within guidelines. You know, it has to be not offensive, it has to be appropriate, etc. But to just bring out the artist in people and figure out creative ways to actually create that interest and vibrancy and participation.
I love it. I love the yarn bombing. It's
Yeah.
one of my favorite.
Yeah.
When they just like yarn bombed, like they did it on Victoria once, where they did like all of the trees up Victoria Street. It was
Really?
yeah, we're all knitted.
That's fantastic.
Crocheted, and it was like the whole tree trunk all the way down. It
Wow.
was super cool to look at.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I talk about it with my students a lot too, because we do like nature art too, right? And you do that, yeah, like all the nature art.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The
Well, it could
think of
too,
the
also, right?
word.
Work with the teachers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be on holidays then.
What is the date? I don't know.
Is it usually the
Do we have a
week
date?
after? Is it the first week of
for the Children's Art Fest.
like a Thursday?
Oh, it's August 6th this year, I believe.
Okay. We're meeting with Alex on Monday. So,
Okay.
So there would need to be like it goes up on a certain day or throughout the week, but it would have to come down, right? I think that would be the main thing. Is
I think that's one of our concerns is
that it's up, but then comes
So it's
down.
not permanent.
yeah.
I mean, some of it we probably would want to stay up, but you know.
And it looks like Alcid put up the motion.
Yes, this was a notice of motion that Councillor Sim brought to the regular council meeting. In some of the discussion, and certainly with CAO Johnson, we was kind of just figuring that this was a good thing to maybe get the opinion of the Public Art Advisory Committee to see what sort of how everyone in the room felt this would tie into public art. It is ostensibly, public art that's only up for a week-long period. If that's something that, could either be managed at this level. We don't have to certainly make any decisions at this stage. I think it's just kind of to get a feel of the room, if this was worthwhile looking into, to then when it comes up at council next week or the week after to kind of have an idea of. Pardon? Yes, I did put it on the agenda.
For next week.
Part of the Week of Whimsy that she's talking about too is not necessarily just the children's festival. She was also thinking about curb stops. How those gray things that are just always out there, and just maybe having people do paintings, that kind of thing.
Sorry, not necessarily
necess-
curb stops, but large. If we think about the concrete blocks here.
The
around
concrete blocks, sorry, not the
RCMP.
curb stops, yes.
Like having people paint them,
Just like
Chalk
a mini
art.
mural type thing.
but it would wash off after the.
Not necessarily. You could just keep that. You could keep that going, right? But like this Week of Whimsy for the Children's Festival, whatever's put up would have to come down for sure. But it's just those ideas are sparking, not necessarily something that is happening right now.
And just to reiterate too, I put down during the Children's Festival, but it doesn't have to be involved with the Children's Festival. I just thought it would be a good time to make a week of art happen with that festival also at the same time.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't be so much. I mean, they could work together.
Right.
That got a really cool reaction.
I'm gonna try and talk. We'll see if she lets me. I also talked to Shelly about her Week of Whimsy idea. And kind of a couple suggestions she had as well with me was like, say for example, some of our like community trails and stuff. Kind of that like grassroots idea that they're more like say Leanne with your nature art that you do, like that kind of thing of like kind of creating it, and like the public could post like find this here like you've done, right? Like that's whimsical in itself. Sorry, I'm not very good at explaining.
No,
But
I know what you mean.
but then I started brainstorming some other suggestions. A few of them would have to be like community organization. I'm so sorry.
It's so exciting. She's so excited about this.
Yeah, she just loves life.
That's his idea.
She's a little whimsical.
We're gonna rewatch this meeting and just laugh.
I love that you can't really see her.
I know.
probably, right?
Everybody
So
watching
it's
is
just
gonna
like,
wonder
where's
what
the
is
noise?
going on in
There's just
there.
a dinosaur in here. Some like thoughts that I had that are also like low cost or free. Obviously would have to be some of them ran by community organizations, and this isn't in any priority order, but like a community talent show or a show and tell, community challenges throughout the week. So like a random act of kindness, an amazing race kind of idea with some spectators, a community pen pal list, community bird watching, community flower plant identification, wearing specific colors each day of the week, and then like putting it out to the community kind of idea. Themes just in general, daily or for the week, and then like cool how-to workshops, even like something as small as like having a couple people showing how to like sew a button or like that kind of thing, but like working with other makers and yeah. So this was like another couple brainstorming ideas for a Week of Whimsy.
Yeah.
You know, I could see it opening up to like, say, you know, someone knew how to crochet, so a little crochet circle, everybody does a little square, and then put it somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Like, let's all learn how to do a little whatever flower, let's connect them and let's go string them on the front of the beach
Love
house or something. That would be cute.
And it could be like, obviously, like businesses could work with
Yeah.
like this, individuals, like someone feels called to do something. But I think, yeah, like that kind of grassroots idea. I don't know, I was really into it, obviously, Shelly.
Yeah.
Planted the bug. But
Cool.
Well, I guess, yeah, I really like the idea too. Alison, I guess really the question that we're looking at here is, does the Public Art Advisory Committee see this as something that they want to help oversee, support?
Yeah, I believe that would be kind of what we're looking to see.
Yeah.
I feel like
And there's still no guarantees. I think we're going to need council to sort of, they'll still have to weigh in on the notice of motion and vote on it one way or the other.
Which will
They'll
be
have to-
next week.
Will be next week.
Yeah.
They'll have to determine if, you know, the staff time is there. There's going to be
Yeah.
other factors involved. I think we get a sense of how much the committee could take on versus staff, and then how, you know,
Yeah.
what that'll look like, I think would be
Yeah.
good to know going in, and even just
Part of
that
the,
interest.
yeah, part of this was, wanted to bring it here to see if the committee was interested in it at all.
Yeah.
So that we had that bit of information before we had the discussion,
Yeah.
when we made a decision on this.
I feel like I would be really into the art part of it, but I feel like the whole bird watching and all that, I feel like it's getting a little, like, I don't know, unless it's art related, I feel like it's taking on too much.
Draw a bird when
Well,
you
I
see
don't-
the bird.
Yeah, totally, right? I just feel like,
Well, and it is a week of whimsy, not a week of art.
so it's like
So
a
I think-
spirit week of the community.
I
So
in
would
a
the arts
way.
count- like, would we just be able to dabble in the art side of it and not the organizing
Gotcha.
the whole
What-
event, kind of?
what I was thinking in my head, like how to kind of, like how does this get navigated as a community? And from that grassroots perspective, and in the motion it does talk about the grassroots perspective of coming from the ground up, individuals, that kind of thing. How much is it actually on us as individuals in this committee, and also how much is it actually on the District of Clearwater?
Yeah, exactly.
I think really what I see this as is like setting healthy parameters around the week of whimsy and like what would be appropriate and not. Like, for example, the concrete blocks, if that property's owned by RCMP, can someone actually permanently paint on it? You know what I mean? Like, so kind of having those parameters of like having that respect for the community. But really it's just like, you have it, like, it could even be, I don't know, Leanne, in your role, do you have an idea for our week of whimsy? Share it here, and then all Leanne has to do is organize, like, put out a poster with a calendar, and it's really more just a individually led activity week.
I think that's where the intention is.
Yeah, more
That's-
than individuals taking it on. If someone really is connected to bird watching, maybe they want to do that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not my thing and not
I
yours,
just don't-
but
Yeah.
but that's that whimsical piece of like there's actually no rules other than the respect of property and community.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
then if it's taken down in a week, permanently painting on things wouldn't.
But
Oh, that's not.
Yeah.
some things
A week
can.
of whimsy
yeah.
wouldn't really, that's not part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could use chalk though,
Yeah, if
maybe.
it- yeah.
Get permission.
So then
for-
it would wash away.
which would be fun.
Hole right in front of the district building that looks like people are
Oh
falling
yeah. A big
Mm.
pothole.
into a well.
I also had like a little idea that people could donate paintings or pottery or something, and then they have like, a little sign that says "Take this art." Like it's like for anyone to see and for anyone to take.
Right?
Yeah.
I like it.
And then
think we
whatever's
all
I had
left,
an idea.
if your art's still up, you have to go and collect it by
Yeah.
the end of the week.
Nobody takes it.
And
I
that's
do
where
agree with
individuals
what
take it
Beth's
on
saying.
too, right? If like I was even thinking like I don't know, maybe the Maple Seed Collective wants to put out some little fairy houses
Yeah.
on a cute little trail and you have to go find them. That would then be my responsibility to go collect it after, but it's there for the week and kind of that advertisement. Not advertisement business wise, but like advertisement for the week of whimsy. And so, no, I was just gonna say like that could be the way that it goes instead of again like Leanne takes on all of it under her umbrella. That's way too much to ask from Leanne. You know what I mean?
No, and I think like you said, like that's not the point of this. Like this is all supposed to be community involved. And then we would just be between the Public Art Advisory Committee and then my department, we would just help.
Get the word out there.
Yeah, get the word out. Maybe even we have time and some of us want to help with certain like initiatives with businesses or
And set the parameters. Like, for example, if you created something like your nature art, like you don't have to go clean that up afterwards.
yeah,
Or if you did a
certain
drawing in chalk
things.
paint, like as long as it's going to get absorbed or it's going to disappear on its own.
Yeah.
That's the exception. You don't have to go. So
Yeah.
if you draw something in chalk and it happens to last for a month and
That's
it doesn't
okay,
rain, like
but-
so be it, right?
Yeah,
But
but you have to paint something that will,
yeah, but if you're
erase
putting
itself.
something up, like I don't know what could be
something tangible.
if you had color themes, maybe stores want to do like a complete color theme one week or who knows.
Yeah.
You could.
And then I think also
Why
like
not have business?
connecting. Oh, sorry, Hannah. You go.
Oh no. Oh, I was just I liked what you just said, Les, because maybe local businesses will get excited about it and they'll art up their windows or something. Yeah. My own thought was to decorate one of the disc golf courses with art. I don't know if that's a thing, but yeah. Kind of you go from goal, I don't even know what you call them, basket to basket, and you kind of put art around it. And
Make it into an upside down chicken or something.
yeah, exactly.
So Sid, that's at the bottom there, that's the report that I'll need to.
Yeah, I just highlighted it because obviously it has a pretty large impact on your workload and whether you can kind of cover off those, which we'll have to certainly discuss with council on the 12th.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So it sounds like
it would probably be a good thing to sort of have a bit of a vote on in this
Okay.
scenario. Just, that the Public Art Advisory recommends to council that, it feels it is worthwhile and we have to move forward with,
Okay.
if that's how the table feels.
Yeah. Okay, so should we make a motion that oh my gosh, Sid.
Public
Do
Arts
I have to repeat it?
Advisory
Yeah.
supports.
Need a teleprompter here.
And so, yeah, it would be that the Public Art Advisory Committee recommends to council, because we're not
Yeah.
decision making, we're
Right.
recommending, group
Okay.
here, recommends to council that the week of whimsy, fill in the blanks here.
Yeah. Okay, so a motion that the Public Art Advisory Committee recommends to council that the Week of Whimsy is an initiative that the committee supports and thinks would benefit the community.
Yep.
All in favor?
Well, let's
Totally.
have someone move it and second it. And then
Okay, so can we get someone to move it? So Liz moves it
Second.
and Mishka, everybody seconds it.
Third. And
Yeah.
fourth.
Yeah, that's right. We're all
and
standing
then,
in line to
and
second
then we
it.
can call the vote. All in favor.
Okay, all in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Nope.
Yeah.
Okay, passed. Thank you, Sid. That was my first one.
Can I ask?
If anybody couldn't
would it-
tell. Yes, Hannah?
You did it very well. I'm just wondering, would it be helpful if we had a couple people who just kind of tried to put some framing? I haven't seen the report to council, but so that if the council has questions, we can talk about the kind of parameters that Liz just raised, like it should be either things that people that will disappear on their own, or people are responsible for taking them down themselves, or just have some ideas so that there's a bit more kind of framing of it as a concept.
I
Or
think
is that kind of already there?
I think we'll be okay. Putting
Yeah?
together the staff report, I can't see taking too much time, honestly.
Okay.
It should be pretty straightforward. And then, because we're not just looking at the motion that's up there, there's no hard decisions that are being made either. So
Right.
we'll be able to move forward on a few other things after the council meeting once we hear what council has to say also, because this motion's going to council next week, and the staff report would be probably the following
Got it.
meeting, correct?
Oh, I see.
That's correct.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Okay. Week of Whimsy. And I think that'll be
Yay.
beneficial too, because especially if we can't start both murals, it'll be nice to get the one mural going, and then also an initiative like this that involves the whole community and isn't just a couple people carrying the load.
Can I ask a question of, I guess, Elson? Like, is there anything that council has to kind of lighten up on? Like, are there bylaws about defacing public buildings or anything that might apply that the council's going to have to say, well, for the week of whimsy, it's perfectly fine to go out and chalk up bollards or whatever.
No, and I certainly think that would be something that we would likely kind of set out some kind of ground rules when we're advertising this as an initiative. It would likely be here's some spaces you can use, here's materials you can use, here's some trails that you can put up,
Yeah.
physical portraits or
Got it.
physical
Okay.
art, and here's when we expect it to be down by. If it's not down by, we'll kind of take it out, right? So
Yeah.
we'll kind of lay that framework
Yeah.
out as part of that staff report process. Nobody's going to get a bylaw infraction for putting their art out if it's where we.
Yeah, especially if it's on district property and
It's not. Yeah.
yeah.
If somebody leaves 3 tons of garbage and says it's an art installation, well, maybe we'll have.
Don't put any ideas into people's heads.
No kidding, okay?
I'm imagining all sorts of dress up days now, like everyone wear
Yeah.
a cape on Wednesday and everybody wear whatever. Council has to do council in animal costumes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, that's a
I think that'll be
brilliant
fun. We can
idea.
also get it to the info center also. Getting them involved, just getting everybody involved.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else on the week of whimsy. We made our motion. Anything else anybody wants to add? Otherwise,
Just a question about
we're-
timing. Is the timing kind of a given? The week of the first week of August? And the reason I
No.
ask is like, is summer the best time to have a week of whimsy if people tend to be on holiday? Like if we're going to engage the community, is that a good time versus
I think so.
know.
With families having more downtime, kids aren't in school all day.
okay.
I mean, people are going to be away, but then during the school year, everybody's busy. Some people are away every weekend for sports or
And we also do this like
That's
next
a good point. Yeah.
Spirit Week at school. so
Yeah.
we're, like dressing up every day. So it's kind of nice to have it separated.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Cheers.
I just also thought too that if it was in alignment with the Children's Art Festival, it would be easier to also hop on that same advertising. So when
Good
we're
point.
co-advertising together, similarly to how we did Family Day and utilized the CSS building, we got way more
That
people.
worked out so well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Yes. Cool.
But okay. If there's nothing else, can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting? We got a motion from Beth. Can I get a second? All right, Elise. Perfect. All in favor?
Hi. Yes.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Well done, Leanne.
Thanks, guys.